If you're new to our channel, we spend our weekends at our off-grid cabin digging a tunnel into the hillside through solid rock. That might sound crazy, but the craziest part is, we're doing it just for fun. Hope you enjoy. So it's been a couple weeks since we've been up here to the cabin where the tunnel is. And since we've been up here, we've had about a week of monsoon rains. And on top of that, we had a small earthquake as well. So don't really know what to expect here. What a beautiful evening. Spring is officially here now. So we've got everything unloaded and in the cabin, ready to settle in. Let's go down and take a look at the tunnel. But first, here's a quick sneak peek at the new mine cart. There'll be more about that tomorrow. It's only 2 weeks ago we were here last time. The snow was probably 16 inches deep still then. I actually just heard the pump cut in for a couple seconds down there. So at least it's still working. It's crazy how much stuff I've hauled out of this tunnel already. Didn't realize it over winter because everything keeps getting covered in snow. So you only see that week's effort. But at least we know it's not flooded. Get the door open here. Well, it's not caved in anyways. Let's go in for a quick peek. It's gonna be a big job tomorrow getting that all out of here. Hopefully that new minecart speeds things up. It's so cool in here. I can't wait to get back down here tomorrow morning and actually get some work done. Been thinking about it for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, it looks like it's all good news in here. No damage, no flooding. Battery's still working good. Water's still running. No bears living in here. Times are good. I'll close everything down and head up to the cabin. Actually, I don't know if it's just my imagination or not, but I think the air in there's a lot fresher with those new vents in the door. Didn't really stink in there at all this time. So, we're working our way through the problems, one problem at a time. If you guys have noticed, I've caught the bug. There's quartz everywhere around here these days. And this is it, probably the last inside fire of the year. But anyways, we'll see you guys in the morning. I apologize if there's some wind noise. It's a little breezy out here this morning. But let me introduce you to the Tunnel Master 6000. Full welded up front axle here. 1.25 inch thick plywood. Handles on the back for picking up the rear end and moving it around. Eye hooks on the side for flipping it over with the winch. 4x4 skids on the front end. Tow bar rated for 3,000 tons. But anyways, let me get this thing down to the tunnel and we'll go over it in more depth. So I just had the living scared right out of me right here. It was a grouse hiding right in there about 8 feet behind me from where I was just sitting or standing. Well, the old ticker can't take that anymore. So this thing's big and heavy and not made for off-roading. Just to take a quick break from the new minecart for a minute. This rock just caught my attention in the rock pile, so I give it a whack with the hammer, split it in half. And there's a big deposit of what I believe is chalcopyrite and then bornite. You can see it turning blue right there. That's pretty cool. You can kind of see the blue a little better on this piece. So that was pretty interesting. So this is the way this thing is going to be orientated in the tunnel. It probably works a little different than you're thinking. When I'm hauling muck out, it won't actually be riding on those wheels. It'll actually be skidding on those 4x4 skids on the bottom of it. And the reason for that is that capstan winch. Capstan winches need constant tension. Like if the cart was to roll ahead a little bit, it just becomes a tangled mess. So it's better just to skid the cart out with brute force than it is to have wheels on it, believe it or not. And that winch should have lots of power to pull this cart out totally full. Now let me put the old cart inside of this one just to show you the scale of how much bigger this one is. So there's the old cart down inside the new cart. So as you can tell, that's going to up production substantially. So obviously I'm going to pull the cart out with the winch. The winch stays right there where it is, behind that tree. So I think I'm going to get the rake, kind of level out these edges a little bit before I can pull the new minecart in. Pull all this stuff out. There's a lot of stuff to take out of here. I better get to it. Go ahead and pull the fuse out of the pump. A lot of sludge on that. So my plan is to get the rear of it across that sump pump hole if I can. I think I'm ready to pull the cart in. Got that all cleaned up. Now I've maximized every dimension of this cart that I can. This is a very tight fit side to side. I think the cart is 22-ish inches wide outside. I think the door opening is only about 26 inches. A narrow 26 inches. And the cart's about 18 inches tall. So I'm actually going to have to climb through it to get over it, obviously. That pit is filling up relatively quickly. We should be fine. Because it is such a tight fit, I welded these little gussets, hoping that it would kind of deflect it back to the center of the tunnel should it go astray. But we're really going to have to watch these handles when we're tugging it out that they don't hook one of the supports. So as you can see, it's a tight fit. That's okay. So as you can tell, I've got to climb through it to get to the rock pile. Then when it's fully loaded, I got to climb back out over it again. The only issue with that, the main issue with that, I guess I should say, is, believe it or not, I'm slightly claustrophobic. So I don't really love this thing being between me and the outside. But you got to conquer your fears. Hope you're not checking me out right now. So already that would have been 2 mine carts with the old mine cart, or sled, or whatever we were calling it back then. Broken back in 3, 2, 1. I don't know what to say. That's a lot of rock right there. Maybe I should just try with this before I haul out all the dirt. I don't want to get too cocky cool. So here I come. We'll give her a try. So after almost a year of hauling rock out of this tunnel, I finally remembered to bring up a snap hook to hook on the end of that rope. Incredibly handsome, but a slow learner. Not really much of a knot there, but it holds. There, that should be all right. Well, that's it, I guess. The water is raising quickly, actually. So this thing hasn't been running now in, oh man, it must be a month and a half or more. So maybe stand up here just in case that cable snaps. You don't blow a hole in you, or rope snaps.
That's comforting. What happened there? Did that thing snap in half?
Yep, it pulled the whole tree over. So the winch is pulling it no problem. But my anchor point is slipping. This big old dead ash tree is laying down. It's probably 45 feet long. Hooked behind this little maple. And when it dug in, it actually buckles this maple tree right over.
It's a lot of rockage.
So the carter's working well, but this anchor point is not quite heavy enough. It worked all winter time because it was frozen in the ground. You know, of course, it was the lighter sled as well, or mine cart. But now we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna dig a trench right there, see if I can bury an anchor point, see if that'll work. So I'm going to feed this loop end of the strap right over this log. So see that nice big ash log will be buried down in there. I'll pack it full of rocks, put more rocks on top of it. Got this 6-foot nylon strap hanging out of it for an anchor point. Should work. I'm gonna notch the bank a little bit right here so the strap's not lifting the log up so much. So I don't know if we got half enough weight on this anchor point or not, but we're going to try it anyways. Can't wait no longer. See, said you watch that. See if anything twitches.
It twitched.
Son of a mother. So that's not good. I think that strap was weighted for, I think it was 6,000 pounds. Oh man. Oh man. Now we're going to need a plan W. See, I snapped that right off like it was nothing. I think it was 6,000 or 7,000 pounds that strap was rated for. So my plan is just to dig a notch down, try to find the center of the log, put 2 more straps around it. That's our last ray of hope. I think we've got to get a piece of wood underneath the nose of that thing, because once it starts sliding it'll keep coming. But throw that strap there to the side of you, would you?
It looks pretty frayed.
Afraid? And we'll double it up. So the loop on the end of the blue strap is still around the log, it's still intact. So we're gonna try doubling up this white strap around it. I don't know if there's any strength that way or not, but we'll try it without burying the log this time. And we're gonna prop up the nose of the sled as well. It's kind of digging in. I think that might be our issue. So we've thrown a piece of 2x6 underneath the one runner. I think once it starts moving, it's just gonna slide right out of there. We've put the rope up over this piece of 2x6 here just to stop it from cutting into the ground. Might help. Might kill us. One or the other. We're going to try again. Plan something. X maybe. Doo, doo. So now this is our last Hail Mary here. This is all we have for straps. These straps are rated 7,500 pounds each. We have two of them wrapped around that tree, choke through themselves. Going up to one that's doubled up, which will go to the snatch block. Hopefully this works. If this doesn't work, we're out of commission until next trip up here. The closest place that sells heavy duty straps around here is probably all over a 3-hour return trip by the time you get back here. That's not going to happen. So we're going to try this. Fingers crossed. That's a heck of a lot of weight right there, is one thing I know. Be interesting to know what it was, or what it is, but where I was going to hook those 2 nice little white straps on, come out here to a point, and another snatch block and tip the whole thing over in one smooth motion. But I've had to use all my extra straps to hook around that log down there. So you're going to have to use your imagination, what it would have been like. Or stay tuned for the next video. So now, I vote Kylie unloads this.
Flip a coin?
Yep, best 2 out of 3. So you can see that's how much water's come in here in 2 hours. A lot more than I would have thought, actually. And I just realized I never brought my rubber boots up here this weekend. Thankfully, Kylie did. Godspeed.
So much dirt in it. 10.
Yeah, that's it.
Where'd it go?
Shove that in the spot where the red light is.
Okay. light is in between two spots. Oh.
Okay, pull it back out. It's not the right spot. There you go. Crazy how well that little pump throws water. Goes in a lot easier than it comes out. So now it's mostly just loose muck. Gotta shovel it all in this time. So I'm just gonna have at it. So there ended up being a lot more muck in there than I thought. This is a way bigger load than I was thinking. I'm guessing this is probably heavier than the load of rock. It's wet and heavy. Took me 30 minutes, almost exactly. Fill that up. Not too bad, really. This alone would have been, I'd say, at least 6, maybe 8 of the other carts. So it is a ton faster, especially once we perfect our system of hauling it out. But as for hauling it out right now, this heavy, it's going to be a battle. So I've actually monkeyed together enough equipment to put a snatch block on here. That should double our towing capacity. The only thing is, this mechanism is pretty Mickey Mouse. So now that I've got this thing out here in the light of day, it's kind of dawning on me how much weight I actually have in that. Surprised that snatch block is actually holding up. But it actually, that being said, it actually tows no problem, except for coming up the slope. It seems to bite in right there, just the geometry of the way everything's working. If I had some plank set in there, I think it would slide right up like nothing. We'll take it slow just to be safe. So I've kind of pieced my way through a crude setup here. Not at all what I had planned. But I'm out of straps, but I'd like to dump this cart. So I've used a piece of the broken strap from earlier with a snatch block. Going over to the main snatch block that goes back to the winch. And so this dead end goes in, hooks up to that one corner. I'm hoping that's gonna be enough to flip it. Ideally, there was going to be 2 web straps coming off each corner to a point, and that would tip it over symmetrically. But now like this, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. It's going to go gentle. I don't want to break this cart right away. So that's kind of a success. I think it would have worked well if I had the 2 straps like I'd planned. We'll come more prepared next weekend. That's the problem with working here in the middle of nowhere. You bring everything you can think of, but you can never think of everything. We're in here now over 16 feet. It's really starting to feel like a real tunnel. And my back is making me feel like a real tunneler. It's a lot of work, but it's very satisfying. Might not seem like it at times, but I am really enjoying this. There's something about it. It's very satisfying. So was that. What a beautiful spring morning. Birds are chirping. Here's some woodpeckers off in the distance. A little bit of a gentle breeze. Some pump cutting in. But let's not put it off anymore. Let's go in the tunnel and talk about the gold assay. I'm going to try to do this with just the camera light on. So if you guys remember, I took 3 samples out of here. The first one being right here. We're only about 6 feet in from the entrance of the tunnel. Just broke a little piece of the quartz out right there. Or a few little pieces rather. And the other 2 I took out of the back wall of quartz. So from back there, I took what looked to be 2 different kinds of quartz samples. Just to see if one had more potential over the other. And to be completely honest, I never really put a lot of forethought into where I was taking the samples, other than I tried to get them from 3 different locations at 3 different kinds of quartz. I don't know if kinds of quartz is a proper terminology or not. But so I just kind of grabbed a sample here, grabbed 2 samples back there, and that's all there was to it. I never looked for any real rich areas or anything. I just kind of took them and shipped them. So back there where the quartz is more solid and more traditional quartz-like it's more translucent, I guess would be the proper word. Both samples came back below the detectable threshold. But up here, where this quartz is really soft and really mineralized, I don't know if you can see it, both sides of the tunnel here. I can literally pull it apart with my fingers in places. Up here, it came back at 5 parts per billion, or 0.005 grams per ton. So it's not a huge amount by any means. So although that amount isn't really profitable in itself by any means, it does kind of warrant a little further exploration. Exploration. So this vein actually starts about, probably 3 feet in from the mouth of the tunnel, and follows the floor all the way to the back. It's about a foot thick maybe. So out here in the beginning of the tunnel, I never even give a thought to gold or any minerals. I was just digging just to dig, back in the innocent days. So all this quartz that came out of here just went out into the bottom of the muck pile, so it's gone. If you look right here, you can see it. That's it right there on the tunnel floor. It goes all the way back the tunnel. It's right here. It's soft as can be. So with my sample, I never tried to high grade it or low grade it. I just literally took a shovelful right there off the side of the tunnel. So whether that's an accurate representation of the rest of this vein, I'm not quite sure. So at some point in the not too distant future, I'm going to dig this quartz vein back a little bit, expose a little more of it, and do some more testing just to see. Doesn't really cost much to get an assay done. I think it was all said and done. It was a little under $200 with shipping and everything for 3 samples. And that was just a fire assay. I think next time I might get the chemical or the acid test. Gives you a little more information to work with. For this first test, I just wanted to dip my toes in the assay world. But anyways, so that's the story behind the assay. We got a little bit of gold, but not a lot. But as for today, I'm going to fire up the generator, get the lights on, and we're going to jackhammer and keep moving forward. That was warm. Come out here, get a break, get some fresh air in me. So that's a pretty good pile of muck down right there. That'll pretty much fill that new minecart. So the next step here, get a little square here. I've got to clean up this edge, get ready for the next roof support, get the lags in. But before I can do that, I guess I do have to break those rocks there in the bottom. They're proving to be a lot harder than what I was expecting. I don't know, I might have to use the feather and wedges there, and maybe even blast them next weekend. But it's going well. It's so tempting just to keep pushing forward. All those big rocks are kind of loose. They want to come out fairly easy. So you just want to keep following the path of least resistance. It's easy to forget about safety and keep pushing ahead without putting the next ceiling up, but got to force myself to slow down and do that. Well guys, that's my tunneling limit for this weekend. Once again, thanks for watching. Take care.